Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The question you might be thinking is, why in the world should I listen to Greg and Rachel Denning? Who are we? Why should you listen to us? That's a valid question, and I hope you are asking that. Like, wait a minute, why should I even consider this parent mentoring strategy, this like kind of new idea or different idea? Like, is it even worth my time and effort? And we want to assure you that we value your time. The time that you take to go through this course is time you never get back. And we honor that and we value that. So we promise to give our best stuff here. So we want to tell a little bit about us. At the time of this recording, we're coming up on 24 years of absolute marital bliss, at least from my side. It's been amazing.
Has been.
And we adopted our first daughter. She was 5 days old when we got her, and we had been married like a year and a half. We found one adoption agency that allow us to adopt, and we're like, okay, let's adopt. And so we got her. Now she's going to be 20. She's 22, and then we had Rachel gave birth to 6 children. The first 4 came fast. It was wild, and so we had 4 kiddos, and then we did something crazy, you guys. We decided to live life very differently, like unique, non-conformist, unconventional. I had done a little bit of traveling.
I had done no traveling.
0, right? And I'd been out of the country one time, and
I'd been to Tijuana one time.
And we took, when Rachel was pregnant with our 4th, we took this little honeymoon trip to Mexico, and we had this amazing experience. We're like, we want our kids to experience this. We want to go have international experiences. Let's quit my job, figure out how to do something else for income, and let's move to Costa Rica. So with 4 little kids that were 4 and under, we loaded up, you guys, and this is wild and crazy. I can't even believe we did it. We moved to Central America with our little family. And then absolutely fell in love with international travel. So that's our kind of unique family dream lifestyle.
Essentially, that experience began what became a lifestyle and of pursuing travel. And as a result, since then, I've been to 57 countries, you've been to 60, our children are anywhere from 40 and up. And the unique thing about this,
that's like we had kids along the way. I'm like, just quickly, after we moved there, then we had
a baby in Costa Rica.
Well, Alaska. For that, baby in Alaska, a baby in Costa Rica, and then a baby
in Germany.
Yep.
But the amazing thing that this lifestyle provided for us was that it gave us, ultimately, I think, an education. Because we were very deliberate and intentional and paid attention to the things we were seeing, experiencing, it helped us to gain this broader framework of how life is done by people around the world. We've lived among Muslims and Hindus and Christians and Jews, and we've interacted with the poorest people to the richest people. We've had so many different experiences that we love to say, and I really feel that it's true, we've probably lived 50 lifetimes worth of experiences. And as a result, along with the fact that we've also been voracious readers, so you've averaged a book a week. I'm
for well
not
over
too
2
far
decades
behind that.
Yep.
We've read and studied a lot. And it's really given us a very unique and, I would say, deep and broad education that has helped us, especially in our area of focus with parenting, marriage, and family life, to learn the essential principles of what actually creates a successful family life.
Yep.
Because all along the way, we kept asking those questions. Besides the fact that once we began traveling, something I realized for myself is that being out in the world, traveling and not having a permanent home base for, I think it was over a decade when we did not have a permanent home base, maybe 15 years, my parenting was on display. Like I would be at an airport, I would be waiting at a train station, I would be at a restaurant, and my parenting was on display. And I really began to be very intentional about it because I'm the kind of person that I don't like people staring at me and watching my kids throw tantrums or whatever. So I started to practice and learn and get curious about what are the parenting strategies that actually work. Not that are just for show, because yeah, I didn't want the show, but I also wanted it to be real. I wanted my children to behave because they actually behaved, not because they were putting on a show for my benefit. I wanted the real strategies that produced the real result.
Right. And what was unique about that, we didn't realize when we started, by traveling so much, we removed any controlled environment.
Yes.
And so we're like, we couldn't use a parenting strategy that only worked
Exactly.
in a
In
padded
my house.
circular room at
Right.
home when there's no interaction with animals or bugs or heat or cold or other people. Like we had to say, what actually works
Well,
for good?
and on top of that, it was as though we were putting our family through a giant experiment. Like, I mean, think about it. You have your parenting problems at home when you just interact in a certain environment. It's your home, it's school, maybe it's church,
The same
and
grocery
that's a
store.
few different places. But try now 10xing that, where now you're at a restaurant in another country in a foreign language with a foreign currency, and or now
Strange
you're,
food.
yeah, strange food that nobody likes or wants to eat. And then you're at an airport, and then you're at an airplane, you're waiting for your flight and the plane is canceled, and you're this just happened to us last month. You're sitting on the plane for 5 hours in Beijing waiting for the rain to stop so then you can continue on your 9-hour flight. These are the type of
Well, and then
circumstances.
you land at 3 o'clock in the morning in
Exactly.
a foreign land we've never been to, and like all the kids haven't slept, and we're like, we got to make it to the hotel. And we go through the taxis and the whole thing.
The passport control.
Like we had to move way beyond just simple little like kind of superficial strategies of
Yeah,
like, oh, it's just a minute here. Like, no, this is a big
yeah,
experience.
exactly.
How do we get to the core of who we are and how we behave, and as well as our children?
So that as a family we can face those circumstances and situations, which we did again and again and again, without wanting to kill each other or driving each other crazy or having complete meltdowns at 3 in the morning at an airport in Qatar, right? Those are the types of circumstances and situations we have been dealing with for 20 years. And that has really forced us to become good parents. We had to. We couldn't, we either had to give up traveling. This is what it was. We either had to give up traveling so that we could parent in a controlled environment, or we had to get really good at parenting. And because of our love of travel and our love of family life, we wanted to do both. And so that I think is a little glimpse into
I think
the
I think
experience
I have
and
a perfect example
expertise.
that I hear all the time is you hear from families, and maybe you guys can relate. They think, you know what, kids, we're gonna do a road trip. And after a couple hours in the car, and the kids are fighting and mayhem and chaos, and there's bloody noses and
Saying, when are
food
we going to
everywhere,
get
they're
there?
like, okay,
We're
we're
never
done.
doing that again.
We're done on a road trip. We're done traveling. Like once the kids grow up, move out, then we'll travel again, babe. And we weren't willing to accept that. And we hear that all the time. And like, no, there's ways around this. So you guys with 7 children, 22 years of mentoring our kids, we can sincerely say, and we're not boasting or bragging here, we're sharing the results of things that actually work, that the very specific things we're sharing in this course, they work. And the evidence of that is not only in our family, which we'll tell you a little bit about, but in the many families we've been able to coach over the years and help. But we have peace in our home, and our kids have a great relationship with each other, and they have a great relationship with us. There's very little fighting. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but we're going to give you the tools to do it. There's very little fighting. There's very little disciplining. The mentoring process removes the fight, the struggle, the rebellion, the hard punishments and consequences, because instead of having to punish for a misbehavior, we do the coaching and leading and teaching up front so the behavior gets prevented. It's amazing. And we have a sincerely extraordinary family life, and it's fun. We have like 3 or 4 teenagers right now. We have a couple in their 20s, then 3 teens, and then the 2 younger girls.
10 and 7.
And so with that whole range of kids, we're fully engaged in all kinds of activities and life at a full level, and it's incredible.
With like the analogy that Greg used about the road trip, because we were unwilling to say, you know what, we're not doing road trips anymore, we're not traveling anymore, we got intentional about learning the strategies that work, not just on the road trips, but in a normal home environment. So now we do have a home base. We're here in Portugal, and the strategies we're teaching you will work whether you are at home or whether you want to do something crazier in your life and go travel and experience things abroad. No matter what it is you want to do with your family life, because we're also big on having a big, extraordinary family dream, we want to give you the strategies that will help make that entire process as a family so much more joyful and peaceful and loving and actually just wonderful. That's what we're all about, and those are the things that we have learned and have been able to develop, which we are teaching in this course, so that you can repeat those results in your own family life.
As we've seen with our coaching clients, we've been
Mhm.
able to work with wonderful families literally across 5 continents and do this for many years, and the results are amazing
Mhm.
because the proven principles and practices, the systems and the strategies we're going to share, they just work. And like if and we're not anybody special or spectacular. It's not like, oh, you guys are so lucky you lucked out with perfect kids, or oh, you guys figured this out, it won't work for me. It's like it really, I feel like if I can do this, anyone can do
Mhm.
this. And we're not talking about us as much as we're talking about like, oh, here's a specific tool and a skill. Let me hand it to you. Watch what happens. It'll
Let
start
me show
working
you how
for
to
you
use
as
it,
well. Yeah.
and then you can use it too. Exactly.
And so with the cool thing is, and I know some of you are here and things are really good in your family. That's amazing. Some of you are here because you're feeling desperate. Maybe there's a lot of pain, a lot of frustration, a lot of hurt. Maybe you just had a big blow up with one of your kids this morning. We want to like just make this promise that when you start using the tools and strategies, you start having results right away. Some results take longer, but some results start happening immediately. And that's the exciting part of this. And Rachel and I, we're on this journey of constantly improving our own mentoring and our own parenting and our own life skills. And we are also on this journey with you. And when we learn something new and we try it, like, look at that. This is incredible. And we just want to remind you and hope you help you like hold up this vision, this ideal, this dream of the extraordinary family life that's possible for your family. Like whatever your situations and circumstances, it's totally possible. And we're going to share the all the tips and tactics and tools that make this possible so you can enjoy your own extraordinary family life. See you in the next video.